Hello and welcome to the Soulful Mamas podcast. You're with your host Maria and I'm so glad you're here. Welcome. I'm doing a little bonus episode today on Easter. Right now it's Good Friday tomorrow for us here in New Zealand, and I've just been sitting with just bringing another way of looking at Easter for ourselves and for our families, for our children, particularly those of us in the Southern Hemisphere, because the picture of Easter looks so different for us down under. We are in autumn, where there is a inward contraction. The leaves are changing colours, they're falling from the trees, the days are getting shorter, it's getting a bit colder, and we're going into we know we're heading towards the winter times. And whereas in the Northern Hemisphere, you guys, you've got spring, and it's this new life, new growth, new beginnings, this potential of everything. And it's also at the beginning of the astrological new year in Aries, which is all about doing and that fiery action, get things done, and there's that motivation and energy to do that. And you've also got the picture of the new plants coming through, the beautiful flowers, daffodils, bluebells, tulips, all of those lovely spring flowers, and everything looks vibrant and green and so alive. And yet our picture, it's equally beautiful, but in an opposite way. So we've got these beautiful colours, there's autumnal colours everywhere, so stunning, yet soon they will shift and morph into something that's no longer living. And for example, in the leaves, they drop, they fall, and the trees become bare, and there's this everything's hunkering down, the trees, the plants, the animals, and us humans, when we allow ourselves that space. Another episode, people. So it's a different picture. We don't have the vibrant new green growth. We've got our beautiful evergreen trees, yes, but it's not that new growth. So it looks different, and it feels different. There's a feeling. The quality of this time is a different feeling to what you are experiencing for that springtime energy. So how do we then bring Easter to our children here in the Southern Hemisphere when we don't have the imagery we receive is often from the Northern Hemisphere, just like it is with Christmas? We've got cards with snow and all of that going on. It doesn't match what's happening in our season. It doesn't match what's happening for us here, what nature is showing us here. In New Zealand and even Australia it's the same, but that picture will be different from nature. So for me, it's that knowing of children know truth. They understand truth, and nature is their true north, if you like. It never lies. It is what it is. And so they can see, with the beautiful little acorns and seed pods from all the different plants, they can see that that's what is happening outside, and our leaves are falling down, and the food is lots of apples, pumpkins, kumara, all of the abundance of the harvest. The harvest is at its prime right now, and it's giving great thanks and gratitude to that summer season, that growing season, and now we get to enjoy that harvest. And it's where we can, because of the abundance of it, it's so good we can share it with our friends and family, and it feels so good to be able to share, which means you can come together for those shared meals. It's really good. And also the excess of what is out there we can preserve and that's what our ancestors would have once done, and a lot of people still do. But it's that busy time of harvesting and preserving and cooking and that type of thing. And it's getting ready. There's that feeling of hunkering down almost, we're preparing for the colder times. That's what the feeling is here. That's what the food is here. The meals represent that. And yet you go into the shops and there's these lovely cards and pictures and posters of little baby chicks coming out of eggs and little rabbits and all these lovely spring flowers. And they're very pretty and they're very beautiful, but they're very not quite in alignment with what we actually see here. So I am all about how do we bring to our children the impulse of what is happening in this time so it actually makes sense for them. So it's bringing in, it doesn't mean you don't celebrate Easter, and depending on your traditions, your culture, your religion, you will have your own practices. It's not, for me, I'm not talking about that because there's many layers of that, which is all wonderful. I'm just meaning the imagery that we bring and working with the season of autumn, working with Mother Earth, with nature. What is she showing us? And that's what our children can see. So, it's a good time. I always give our children little bulbs and seeds as gifts, because this little parcel, this little package of this little brown bundle of seemingly nothingness, lifeless little thing, actually has the potential for an incredible plant that will come forth in springtime. It just needs that time to go into Mother Earth and just be held and looked after and nourished, and when it's ready, when the conditions are right, if it's been looked after and loved enough, it will spring forth. So it's showing potential, it's teaching our children patience, that waiting, and it's like, isn't it incredible, that little acorn seed, that little Cody seed, they have the potential to become the mighty oak, the mighty Cody tree. It's so amazing, this tiny little seed, and it just given the conditions, it can be that. The potential is there, and it's like the potential in each of us to, we can be also those mighty oaks, mighty Cody trees. I digress slightly. So yeah, that's a good gift to give our children down here. And the other picture that resonates with children too at this time is the caterpillar going into the cocoon. And the caterpillar doesn't straight away become a butterfly, right? It takes time. It goes inward. It goes into its little cocoon, like its little cave. And in that, there's a lot happening. We can't see it, but there's a lot going on. There's a lot of change. Not always comfortable for that little caterpillar, but it does emerge as this beautiful butterfly. So that's a beautiful picture now as well for our children. And it's seeing the egg as new life or potential. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, one, look outside. What is nature showing us? What are you actually feeling? What is the weather? What is the climate, the season? Weave that into your celebration in some way, with your meals, with your decorations, your little nature tables. Bring that in. And secondly is, take time yourself to really sit with what does Easter actually mean to you? How has it been celebrated previously? What's your thoughts, feelings on it? Because you're in however you sit with this consciously is kind of what will emanate out to your children. You don't need to say too much, particularly if they're young. It's all through maybe the stories you might say, or songs you might sing, imagery that you present. it's subtle, and as they get older it becomes, not so subtle. You can have more conversations about it. And like I said, if you have your own religious practice, spiritual practice, all of that, that's beautiful too. You weave that into your family traditions and what you do and how you bring that. But I think for a lot of us, what does it actually mean? Is it just it's definitely a 4-day weekend for us in New Zealand, and most people go away, make the most of the end of the last snippets of summer, or the good weather if you like. It's usually a time to see family. Often, Easter egg hunts, and there's definitely the hot cross buns and Easter eggs going on. But I think it's really important to know the why we do things, even if you don't need a big, deep philosophical reason for anything. But children are curious beings, and they like to know the why. And if you can bring something of that to them, it makes sense to them. And I was always that child that I didn't understand Easter and Christmas being, they didn't make sense to me. And, I didn't realise till an adult. I didn't realise till I was teaching actually over in London. Like, wow, yeah, of course it makes sense. The imagery that we use, because it's geared for the Northern Hemisphere. So sit with the why behind what you bring. Otherwise, I find it just it's in danger of becoming another very basically consumeristic time, where the main ones that win are the shops selling all the Easter eggs and all the Easter paraphernalia that goes with it, stuff that you kind of think you need but don't, and there's not that thought around it. So I think it's a really good opportunity to create your own traditions around this time of the year, whatever they look like, and whatever you bring in, whatever special food. We always have a special beeswax candle that we light. There's just little rituals that you can bring in. They don't need to be big and major, but they're quite special. So there's a specialness about this time, and it may well be like it is for our family. It's family primarily. It's Mother Nature, that family, Mother Earth, but it's family. And there's things that we've done every year since our children were young, and we still do them today. We make our own hot cross buns, and we don't eat hot cross buns until Good Friday. It's just something we've done, and we all love them so much. It'd be very easy just to stock up beforehand, but we don't. It's we wait, and so then we really, really enjoy them when we do eat them. Little things. There's so many little things, and if you want ideas, please reach out. I love talking about all of these things and helping with family traditions and rituals, or even your own personal ones. So let me know, and let me know what you do or don't do, and if you want ideas, let me know. But basically, there's no right or wrong, there's no shoulding, it's just ideas, getting curious. And wishing you a really safe, really soul-filling Easter time, whatever you do, wherever you are. And I look forward to chatting with you again soon.